Micdup.
Song.
Highlights from Lowlifes. Highlights from Lowlifes.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode 99 of the Highlights from Lowlife show. I'm Robbie. I'm your host tonight. I'm joined by JC and Chucky. Hey, we are ready to do another show for you. We are live once again from beautiful Banner Island Ballpark, home of the Stockton Ports. They're getting ready for a big game tonight. We believe they're playing Modesto. It doesn't matter. We'll mow down whoever it is in front of us. Before we start the show, I did want to point out that this ball here nearly made this from a three-man show to a two-man show, as it almost killed Chuck in the stands. So we're saving this potential murder weapon as evidence if it comes up again. So anyway, thanks for being here tonight. We thought we'd do a little fun show since we're at the ballpark. This past week, of course, we had the All-Star Game, and so we thought we'd just talk about All-Star Games for Major League Baseball, past, present, future, what we liked, what we hated, everything else in between. So we're going to do that tonight. I'm going to start with the 1971 All-Star Game, which I remember watching as a kid. And then during COVID, when these calls started, one night we all were sitting around laughing and talking, and I figured out how to get YouTube to play on the screen for everybody to watch at once. So we found the 1971 All-Star Game and played that, and it was absolutely amazing. I think it's 26 Hall of Famers are in that game, one form or another. And then you think about everybody from that era: Mays, McCovey, Carl Yastrzemski, Frank Robinson, Brooks Robinson, Jim Palmer, Ferguson Jenkins, Bob Gibson, Lou Brock, Al Kaline. All these guys were in that game. And the funny thing is if you go back and look at the roster, I think the least known guys in that game are Don Kessinger and Glenn Beckert, who are two probably tier below the Hall of Fame guys. So it was just an incredible game. That's back when these guys played to win. So it was really dramatic. All the scoring came off of home runs, and all the home runs hit in the game were by Hall of Famers. And Vida Blue started the game for the American League, and that was the year he went on to win the MVP and Cy Young in the same season. He was the winner of the game, and Doc Ellis was the starting pitcher for the National League. But absolutely unbelievable lineup. If you really want to see a game where guys care and played hard, and it's just chock full of Hall of Famers and next tier level guys that are really close to the Hall of Fame, that is the game to watch. The 1971 All-Star Game, just absolutely fantastic. Nothing like it. JC, you up?
I want to talk about this year's Hall of Fame, or not Hall of Fame, this year's game, the All-Star Game. It's kind of a love-hate relationship for me because, I hated it when they started. Stars only played 2 innings and that sort of thing. But this year, even though some of the guys I didn't quite like in the game, because they're Dodgers, they had Freddie Freeman on first base, and Doc came and took him out so that the fans in Atlanta, where the game was, could give him a round of applause. And I thought that was pretty good. I thought that was nice. They mic'd up some guys. They mic'd up Pete Crow Armstrong, who's basically a rookie in the game, and he was entertaining. He's a very likable fellow, and I enjoyed that they were talking to him and so forth. So, couple of ups and couple of downs. They finally got away from the uniform thing where they'd wear the National League uniform or American League uniform. I hated that. They finally got back in their own uniforms and wore them on the field. They still do the National American for the Home Run Derby, but that's just fine. Okay, Chuck, what do you got?
The one that Robbie was talking about, the 1970 World Series. Yeah, I'm not World Series, All-Star Game. Sorry,
I did that too.
Yeah, and it wasn't one of my favorite memories, but it is a memory that I had even when I was a little kid. I was only like 7 years old, but I remember the end of that game where Pete Rose just blows up Ray Fosse at the end of the game and injures him, and it was a strange way to end an All-Star game that's supposed to be kind of a friendly game. But anyway, that's one that I remember from way back.
Right. Great call. I mean, that goes back to show you how much those guys actually cared about the All-Star game. We were just talking before the show started how the with this year how it came down to the home run derby, and the derby everybody would have wanted to see was Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge, obviously trying to win it for the American National League. But those guys left after the end of the third inning, which is something I think back in the days of K-Line and Mays and McCovey, you didn't leave. You were there to win it. Those guys didn't even want out of the game back in those days. So I miss that about the All-Star game. But I'm with JC. I wanted to elaborate a little bit. I love the return to the uniforms this year, wearing your team's uniform. I think if you're a fan from Minnesota and you traveled to Atlanta for the All-Star game, you want to see Byron Buxton wearing his Minnesota Twins uniform. You don't want to see him wearing some weird American League or National League jersey that has really nothing to do with the team that they play for. It's something that makes them stand out. It makes it easier for the fans to identify who they are for the future. And I'm really glad to see the return to that style. It just means something more, especially if you're in a smaller market. It's got to mean something more to these teams than just coming out there and wearing some generic uniform that it could be anybody from Des Moines, Iowa wearing. So, I'm happy about that return, and JC was spot on with that. I rarely say this, but I wholeheartedly agree, JC.
Thank you, sir. One other thing about this this game, this All-Star game, they had Clayton Kershaw go out, play the second inning, and pitch to a couple batters. And the whole time, John Smoltz was talking to him and said things like, "Hey, you should throw a slider here, or maybe a cut fastball." He says, "Mostly, I haven't got the cut fastball. I don't throw one. Let me throw what I want to throw." And I thought it was funny. They were having fun with him. He was having fun with the crowd and that. And once again, he was taken out of the game for big applause, and it was nice. Roberts took him out, so that was all good. And I do like in this game, which doesn't mean anything. Okay, you're not playing for who gets the home field advantage in the World Series like you used to, which was stupid. But but have fun with it, enjoy it. It's an honor to be there and do what you need to do. Chuck.
All right.
Chuck likes to make a dramatic entrance.
Yes, I do. I like to delay it for effect. No, this one was one of my favorite All-Star moments, and it turned out to be his only All-Star appearance. But I'm a big Raider fan, as my friends know, and I'm also a big fan of Bo Jackson. And in 1989, he comes out, first pitch, just bang, leadoff home run, and I just thought that was great. But one of the really cool things about it was that President Ronald Reagan was commenting on TV on that game. So that's why I remember it probably more than Bo Jackson hitting a home run.
Very good. Very good. All right. Well, we have a special treat. Didn't expect this to happen. It's not a low life, but you could say she's low life adjacent. And that is frequent caller, longtime listener, Vonnie is going to step up and give us an all-star memory. So this should be pretty interesting. Welcome our special guest, Vonnie.
Hello. Lifetime listener and lifetime caller and lifetime supporter. Have not missed any of the 99 episodes that you guys have done thus far. But anyways, regarding the All-Star game, I do want to comment from a personal women's point of view that why in God's name are we doing red carpet for All-Star games? Why do the guys need to walk out in some sort of designer suits and all this garbage? Why? I just don't understand why this is now a part of the All-Star festivities. Um, we're we're not the Oscars. They're not the Golden Globes. They're not actors. It just seems silly and ridiculous to me. So that's one thing I wish they would just get rid of and get back to it being a sports event and being nothing but sports related stuff. None of this red carpet foo crap. That's my 2 cents worth.
I think our entire listenership would agree that the red carpet thing is a joke. So congratulations, well played. Big round of applause for Bonnie, our live studio audience member today. All right, going back for me would be the 1984 All-Star Game. It's the only All-Star Game I ever went to, and it was at Candlestick Park. It was a cold, windy, traditional Candlestick Park night. I believe the National League won 3-1, but there was a stretch. Fernando Valenzuela, I think, in the fourth inning, came in and struck out on something like 12 pitches. Dave Winfield, George Brett, and Reggie Jackson. And it was really, really impressive. And I do not like the Dodgers, but, I mean, that's three incredible Hall of Famers that he took out in a very minimal amount of pitches. So that was pretty impressive. The whole game was fun just because of all the pomp and circumstance. And we were there to see the end of the batting practice and, of course, the announcement of the starting lineups. And Bob Brenly, I think, was the Giants' all-star that year. And he wasn't having a great year, but they had to have somebody. So he was there. And anyway, just a lot of fun. And it was a great classic Candlestick night. So that's my next memory there.
I want to follow up on that one. I was there also, and we got a special quad Candlestick for the All-Star game. If you know Candlestick, they used to have every extra inning game. They would give this special quad Candlestick button, and it would have SF and it would have snow on top of it to indicate that you were a hero for staying in the cold and the wind and so forth to see an extra inning game. So, and I thought the All-Star game was appropriate, as Robbie said, because it was exactly like that. And it was an endurance contest to go through it. Let me go something else.
And one final footnote, I think there was 21 strikeouts in that game.
Yeah. 21 strikeouts. That's pretty good. One of my favorite All-Star moments as a Giants fan was Ichiro Suzuki, 2007, hits an inside the park home run in an All-Star game. It's the first and the only so far that I'm aware of. But that was pretty cool to see. I remember watching that one on TV. But that inside the park home run.
Yeah, there's nothing quite like an inside the Parker. All right, well, we're plowing through this show just like we're plowing through the beer. And what beer are we plowing through? For what you drinking, we're drinking Almanac Brewing. 99 shows sponsored by our good friends at Almanac Brewing. They are, without question, one of America's leading craft brewers. We are proud that they sponsor us. We're confused as to why they continue to do so, but we absolutely appreciate that they do. Tonight, our What You Drinking is not going to be too varied because I think we're all drinking some version of the True, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, Chuck's going to screw it up. So maybe I should have let the ball hit him. Anyway, I'm drinking the new True, which is the lager. As you know, the show is big fans of the True Kolsch. That is going to become kind of a seasonal item. Once or twice a year, they're going to release that. They've moved this to the lager, and it is actually very delicious. It's a little maltier than the Kolsch, where the Kolsch has a little bit of a crisp, sharp bite to it. This has a little bit more malt flavor, but it really holds true to the flavor otherwise, where it's just nice and refreshing, easy to drink, and yet I love the fact, and this is true of all their beers, they're full of flavor. You don't have to get a double or a triple IPA to get some flavor. Even their Crispy Girl Pilsner and all their lightest beers right on up to their heaviest beers are just drenched in flavor, and it's awesome. So this True Lager is turning out to be a really nice beer. JC, I see you have the other version.
I have the original True Kolsch, which is my watchword and also what's on the back of my jersey. So I love this stuff. And it does have a little wang to it, give you a little flavor, but it's easy drinking, and you can have a couple of them and not fall over. Chuck?
All right. Well, I'm drinking one of my favorites. It's the Almanac Seaside West Coast IPA. Delicious. I love it. I really love the description of it at the top: deep, relaxed, and vast. So
That's
my favorite.
the three words I would use to describe Chuck.
Yeah, there we go. Vast.
And deep. And oh, hey, we got a What You Drinking from Teddy Bear.
What you drinking? Well, I'm going to screw it up too, along with Hammy, because I'm up here in Seattle waiting for a plane, and SeaTac has none almanac anywhere. So I'm going to have to look for something else that's native around here. Have a good show, boys. Teddy Bear here.
Maybe Teddy Bear will have a Rainier while he's up there in Seattle. Or next time he should fly to Portland, which does have almanac in the airport.
Rainier Ale, the Green Death in college for me.
Spoken like a true beaver.
Yep.
Anyway, Almanac, 99 episodes. We are proud to be here with you. Oh, wait. Teddy Bear, quick response. I like this.
JC told me to stay away from the Rainier, so I'm going to take his advice.
Yes, very clever. I'm not even sure how to end this. Let's just say Almanac, one of America's best craft brewers. If you have the chance to get to Alameda, whether you're local or you're traveling to the Bay Area just for fun, make sure you make a trip out there. They've got a great brewery, great people, and great selection of beers. They're happy to show people around, and it's just fabulous. Make sure you tell them you heard about them from the Highlights from Lowlife show, and they may take pity upon you. What else we guys got for the All-Star Game? Go ahead.
Don't everybody jump up at
Yeah.
once. Well, I do remember how the game, when it supposedly meant something, ended in a tie, and they didn't know what to do. Everybody was out of pitching. And so this year, when everybody was out of pitching, they had the swing off, which was mentioned previously. And I thought that the big star was Kyle Schwarber hitting 3 home runs on 3 pitches. You got 3 swings, and he hit them all out, and all no doubters. And they won, and they didn't even have to put up the polar bear to finish it off. So it was very nice, and I like the addition of that to get a winner because it allows them to use all the pitchers and all the people on the team, which is really an honor, and they should.
Well said. I of course wasn't alive to see it. JC was. JC was 53, I think, at the time in 1961. But the previous time the All-Star Game had actually been played in San Francisco was at Candlestick Park in 1961, and it is a famous game because this is back before Candlestick Park was enclosed. Center field and right field were wide open, and the wind used to just really rip through there. And Stu Miller, and now let me back step for a second. In The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, perhaps the greatest film of all time, the line is, when it comes to the truth or the legend, print the legend. In 1961, Stu Miller of the San Francisco Giants, kind of a change-up, off-speed pitch type of pitcher, very slow, deliberate wind-up, went into his wind-up, and a huge gust of wind came and actually blew him to the side of the mound, at which point they called a balk. He literally, from the Candlestick winds, got blown off the mound and had a balk called on him. So that is something I did not experience in person, but boy, oh boy, I would have loved to have seen it, because that's anybody that's been to Candlestick, grew up there like we did. That is a moment that would be absolutely, completely understandable in our minds. So Stu Miller getting blown off the mound in the 1961 All-Star Game.
And I will say that I had the opportunity to meet Stu Miller before he passed. He was not a big guy. And so I can see how he would have gotten blown off the mound there with all the wind swirling around. They used to kind of tell which way the wind was blowing within the field by the number of hot dog wrappers on the left field fence or the right field fence. It was an entertaining venue.
The other thing that the other teams would complain about is they'd come in and they'd say, which way's the wind blowing? And there would literally be a flag blowing out, and then 5 feet over another flag blowing in, and then 5 feet over another flag blowing across. So the flags were no use to the players. Gary Matthews and Darrell Evans and everybody said you just couldn't gauge it off of that. You just had to try to bear down and do what you do. But other teams would come in and would get in their head because they just couldn't figure out the wind and that whole thing. It was a strange, wonderful place that was horrible. There you go.
Chuck, I got nothing.
Chuck's got nothing.
On Candlestick, I will say that.
Sorry, I got nothing.
That Roger Craig was tired of all the complaining that everybody was doing on the Giants about the park. He says, this is our advantage. We got to use it. Let it get in the other guys' heads. Don't let it get in yours. And let's use it as an advantage. We love this place. Okay? So, I mean, each to their own. It worked for Roger.
Yep. Good call. Good call on that. Hey, if you're watching, hit that microphone button and leave us a message. We do have one coming in from Webby. He is on assignment this week, but he did leave us a message, so I'm going to play that right now.
All-Star Game memories. 1970, Pete Rose runs over Ray Fosse to score a run, knocking Fosse senseless. 1979, Dave Parker makes a beautiful throw from the right field corner to cut down Brian Downing at the plate. In 1983, Giants pitcher Atlee Hammaker gives up a majestic home run to Fred Lynn, so the American League can win 13-3.
And the worst part about the Atlee Hammaker pitch was that was a grand slam, the first grand slam in All-Star Game history that Fred Lynn basically destroyed Atlee Hammaker's career with. But he's a really nice gentleman. Chuck, you got something yet?
I've got kind of one that I do remember, and it's not in the All-Star Game. It was in the Home Run Derby of Ken Griffey Jr. blasting one out of the park and hitting a warehouse adjacent to the ballpark. I remember seeing that one on TV, and I thought that was pretty exciting.
Yeah, so I want to go back. I think JC talked about this year in the home run swing-off. I think it was kind of a fun way to end the game. I think it was spectacular that they kind of brought this new interest level into the end of the game, kind of brought in the elements of the home run derby into the game to help decide it, rather than going into extra innings and tiring guys out and maybe getting people hurt for the regular season, which, of course, is the most important thing. But the thing I did not like, and I mentioned it earlier, is that the big guys, the guys that started the game, all those guys were gone from the ballpark. And here, the entire game is riding upon home runs, and Ohtani's not there, Aaron Judge isn't there, all these other guys left the park in the third inning, nowhere to be found. If they're going to do it, and I hope they continue it, and then I'll be rooting for a tie every year, those guys need to stick around. The top home run hitters, the big thumpers. I mean, Big Dumper was gone too. Cal Raleigh, the guy that won the home run derby, he had left the ballpark already as well. So there's got to be something that keeps those guys there and keeps them part of the event, because that's what people want to see. There's the drama, not Azekar, Jose Azekar being the guy out there to try to win the game for your league. So that's how I feel about that, and I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Of course, it was a 4-run league.
Nicely said. Well, all in all, they did a fairly good job with the All-Star Game this year. I hope they continue some of the stuff the announcers talking with the players during the game. I thought that's kind of fun because it's in the spirit of the game. It's not about winning or losing anymore, as was mentioned. When Mays was in it, he would rally the troops and say, "Hey, we got to beat those guys. We can't be messing around, you know." But this is really true, just a showcase, and have fun with it, enjoy it. That's my take on it.
All right, Chuck.
I'm
Chuck,
running on E.
Chuck doesn't like the All-Star Game, so good thing he's on tonight's show. I had another one, and I respect this because it's everything that's good about baseball. Cal Ripken, in his final All-Star Game, not only did Alex Rodriguez, who was elected to play shortstop and Ripken was at third, made him switch positions so Ripken could play third. In his last at bat, thank you, shortstop. Oh, the guy that doesn't care to suddenly care. So anyway, the part I really appreciate is his final at bat in an All-Star Game. Chan Ho Park went up and just threw fastballs. He did not go out there and try to trick him with curveballs, move things around. He threw him fastballs. So Ripken had a moment where he could jump on a fastball and hit it for a home run. Now you can say maybe that's not a competitive edge or anything, but I think that was a real. For Chan Ho Park, I think that was a respect thing. He knew that Cal Ripken was there. And Cal Ripken still had to hit a guy that throws 98 miles an hour. He still had to hit the fastball out of the park. It wasn't like he gave it to him. He just didn't go out of his way to try to get him out. And I respect that. I think that's a younger player respecting an older player and making sure that he had his moment. And so I've always appreciate that. It always stuck with me, the Chan Ho Park thing. So tip of the cap to a Dodger, which is rare for me.
And I would say that they've carried on the tradition with allowing Clayton Kershaw to come in and pitch in probably his final All-Star Game, and he got 2 outs, and they took him out quick before he got shelled. I thought that was very good, but Clayton Kershaw for a Dodger ain't a bad guy.
Yeah, agreed, and he should finish as a Dodger. I'm glad he's where he belongs. You know what I'm saying? All-Star games. What do you think about a more set schedule? Just your opinion. Should it move every year from an American League stadium to a National League stadium? And should there be a rotation set up? So every 30 years, your city comes out. What do you guys think?
No, I agree with that. That makes a lot of sense because you're trying to spread baseball all over the country with this thing anyway. So, yeah, that makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, I like it rotating around, and I like the alternate. Now, we're going to be playing in 2 National League cities in a row this year and next year, which I don't know. Maybe the American League ought to be the home team in Philadelphia, I think it is, because fair is fair.
And your opinion as well. The futures game, which is really great. All the minor leaguers that are on their way up, hot prospects and all of that, they play an All-Star game on Sunday. My problem with this is every team in baseball plays Sunday afternoon. So the futures game is lost in that morass. I would like to see the futures game either played Monday afternoon before the Home Run Derby or on Tuesday before the actual All-Star game. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great idea. Again, the whole idea of the All-Star game or week, if you will, is to spread baseball around the country. And what better way to do that by showcasing the up-and-coming players, So I agree. Yeah, you don't want to hide them on Sunday.
Yeah, they're lost on Sunday.
Well, the worst sports day of the year is either Wednesday or Thursday following the All-Star game. You could put the futures game there if you wanted to. In other words, it doesn't have to be second fiddle to the Home Run Derby or to the All-Star game itself. You could play it the next day on Wednesday and still get people back for their minor league games. So that's my thought on the futures game.
All right, I'm going to throw one more at you guys. And we're going to wrap the show up early tonight because we got game time coming up pretty soon, and it's a beautiful night here in Stockton. But what do you think of, there's the home run derby. And in NBA, for example, they have the dunk contest, which is the home run derby, basically. They have the three-point contest. What about some kind of a skills competition? Throwing, pitching, bunting, hitting into certain zones for points. What do you think about a skills competition like that to kind of spice up home run derby or that Monday? I kind of like your idea, actually, of moving the Futures game to Wednesday. So you want to fill Monday up with a bunch of events for that hometown team. What do you think? Skills competition.
Yeah, I don't like it. They're pros. They don't need to show off their skills.
Well, always a contrarian. Always a contrarian. I do like it. I think one of the things that we were just talking about, Dave Parker throwing from right field to home plate, and maybe an outfield throwing contest, to a target at home plate would be a good skills contest. So that's my thought.
All right. Well, good. Unless anybody's going to call in, which I don't think they're going to do, we'll go ahead and wrap this show up. We covered a lot of ground, and I think it took us surprisingly less time than we thought it would.
I think we talked fast.
We talked a lot. We talked fast, and without Weber here to wax rhapsodic, we were able to kind of get through a full show in half the time. So,
well, wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
There was no Rabbit Moranville mention. I think that's worth mentioning by exclusion.
He retired before there was an All-Star game, but I'm pretty sure it was probably his idea to do an All-Star game. So
when did the All-Star game start? I'm not aware of when.
I believe it was in the late 30s.
Late 30s?
Yeah. All the call-ins are done. We're just wanting to drink more beer, really, and we did it. We actually covered quite a bit of ground. There was we had one call in that came in that was weird. I should play it, huh? Yarden Rawaz.
So there you go. See, that was my favorite part of the All-Star.
That sums it up.
That was worth sticking around for an extra 2 minutes, right? Anyway, we got our 100th show coming up next week. It's probably not going to be anything special, but it will be our 100th show. We are going to be back at Almanac here in a few weeks. We'll put the word out on that. We'd love to have a live studio audience if they can participate and be there. That would be outstanding. So we'll get more information about that on our social media and here on micdup. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tolerating a goofy ass show like this. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next week. Thanks to Almanac, and we got one more from Teddy Bear.
Great show, boys. Go Ports. Have a good time tonight.
Go Ports. And oh yeah, thank you, Stockton Ports, for always giving us the space to do the show and working with us. They're outstanding. And if you're around Stockton, get out to a Ports game. They're a blast.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.